Well, hello there. StepDaddy's here. Where are you stuck? DM stuff, player stuff, Foundry stuff, table stuff. If it's D&D, pull up and let's bullshit about it. I was actually thinking that today I would focus on backstories. I just got done making one for one of my characters, and it's fresh in the mind, so I thought I would jump in, see what it's all about, see where maybe some people get stuck on it. Um, you know, Backstories. We know they're a pain in the ass. So it won't just be me talking about it. We're actually going to make a backstory today. If we get some people in chat, we'll have folks go ahead and say, we'll get some crowd work going in. If not, well, then you guys get to see me make something up from scratch, all by my lonesome. So like in my campaign, I know there's a difference with every DM, and some DMs don't want you to make any backstory. They're actually happier that way. It gives them... Hi, Anna. It gives them the ability to play with your character, where they came from, where they're going, so on and so forth. Personally, I don't like that. At least at my tables. I feel like that's more of a combat-oriented type group as opposed to a roleplay group. Personal opinion on that, of course. What I like is I like player buy-in. And even as a player myself, I want to try to build up my characters so that I can connect with them. It makes it easier to role play. It makes it easier to, just in general for me. I know I have a path. So for today, let's say... I think we've only got a couple of people in chat right now. So how about we go ahead and make ourselves a backstory? Let's start with a campaign setting. Anna, do you happen to have a campaign setting that you know about and would like to make a backstory for? Maybe, perhaps. Or don't. I know I'm interrupting you while you're working. That's okay. I'll tell you what. You are currently in a Curse of Strahd, correct? Okay, we'll go with Curse of Strahd. How about... How about this? How about a class, a subclass, and anybody can chime in. A class, a subclass, or a race, or species, or whatever the hell we're calling them nowadays. Huh. Paladin. Okay, I wonder why my... Apparently this doesn't want to work out the way I want it to work out. Oh well. Oh, that's why. Maybe? No. I am not having any luck with this. Why? Why not? Boop, boop. That ain't it. Huh. Oh, yeah. It's rookie hour. Can't be helped. Okay, so how about... We've got... Maybe this isn't going to work today. Is what it is. How about a subclass? Really? No, normally this map's supposed to... Or this is supposed to be a screen capture, and it's not... It's not overwriting. So I don't know. Okay. So my plan was... You don't know subclasses? So they got their oaths, right? So they've got Oath of Glory. They have Oath of Devotion. They have Oath of Vengeance. Vengeance. Okay. It absolutely is. Huh. That's so weird. I wonder why that's not... I think I know what it is. I just did some things on my doodad. We'll see if we can't... There it is. I fucking knew it. It was off to the... So I had just changed this from 4K to 1080p because I was having some issues. So cool. Like I said, we're going to be doing this on ChatGPT. Cool. We'll start off, you know, Curse of Strahd, or I need a backstory for Curse of Strahd. How about a species, Anna? You got a gnome, you know, gnome, Goliath, orcs, what, you know, the whole slew. Oath of Vengeance Paladin. And we're going to get a real basic, real garbage backstory from this to start. What speaks to you, Anna? Dwarf? Wow, you're going classic. So, as you can see, all I wrote was, I need a backstory for Curse of Strahd, no spoilers, Oath of Vengeance Paladin, who's a dwarf. Do we want it to be dark, or do we want it to be light? What are we aiming for? I know edgy is kind of easier to do. And I guess the idea behind it is, well, if they're so happy, why would they be out adventuring, right? We'll go dark, edgy, some other words, I suppose. But this is a good start. Like I said, this is going to give us something to work with, and it's going to be a poo-poo. Absolutely dog poo-poo to start. And we didn't have a name for the guy, so and that's fine. So this guy's new name is Durgan Volgren, Oath of Vengeance Paladin. Let's see here. And yes, I know there's some folks out there that are going to hate the fact that I'm using AI. That's too bad. Get over it. Yeah, so this guy's a third son. Not supposed to inherit anything. Sure, that's fine. Oh my God. Okay. It gets a little long. That's fine. That's fine. He's not gentle, noble. He has coins, gifts. Real boring, right? The lower vaults were plundered. Cool people. Traders were gone by dawn. I mean, as far as backstories go, this one isn't the worst one I've ever seen. Should have seen I did one for a druid, and that was actually very, very bad. It made her sound like she was truly happy and that she doesn't know why she was going off on an adventure. Well, what's the point in that? I want to give something for my DM to bite off on. So yeah, this doesn't really tell me much about vengeance. So yeah, long and short of it, he was happy, something bad happened. He's now taking vengeance. There's not a whole lot of hooks on this. There's at least one hook, right? So what do you think, Anna? Where do you think we should start first? I think, being a noble's fine, especially if you're going the knight route. Yeah, okay. We're here to learn, right? Personally, I'm going to start at the beginning, right? I will go back and forth with ChatGPT until I find something I'm happy with. My druid, for example, I think I went back and forth, 15 times until I was happy going through. Just, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. Well, Curse of Strahd, we all know Strahd is in here. So I'm not too happy. Family's fine, but I like more heartstrings. And when it comes to that, it involves, spouses. Nothing gets people more torn up than having to rescue their spouse, or their spouse got injured, or whatever. You're right, Anna. I am. And it's your fault. So, how about this? I pull a lot of inspiration from animes or movies, or from books I've read. I read a lot of light novels. So inspiration can come from anywhere. It can come from you bullshitting with your friends. You could have had a bad dream one night, and you can pull from that. So how about this? Instead of just being a worker in the mines, he was a city guard. You know what? I like that better. Because let's say they're starting off at level 1 or level 3. They're still just basically an iota higher than a commoner. So he was a city guard, had a wife and kids. Let's go with a sun, because why not? And if I remember right, well, Strahd can do whatever he wants. Let's say the town got hit by Strahd's minions. And if I could spell right. Because fighting Strahd at this level, meh. I don't really think that's realistic. But his minions? Sure, why not? Hi there. I am going to mispronounce your name. Hoylpa? So what I am doing is I am coming up with backstories. I use ChatGPT to kind of start with the bones of it, and then I go back and forth with it because I'm not a writer. I have ideas. Hoylpa. Okay. Did I get it right that time? Hoylpa? I might be over enunciating that. All right. Hoi. How you doing? Yeah, so let's say Strahd's minions attack, and he goes out to fight them, but he fails. Cool. That's gonna start tired and happy. Tired and happy. Gotcha, Gogon. But yeah, so right now we have a dwarf, Hoy, who is an Oath of Vengeance paladin, and we're going to base it off of a Curse of Strahd campaign. Yeah, pretty much. So, and we're going to go more dark with it than, lighthearted. So for this, it gave us something where he was like a noble and basically happy-go-lucky, but the wells got poisoned kind of thing. And I don't feel like there's a lot of hooks on it. Your first draft is usually pretty crummy anyhow when you're using ChatGPT. And for the sake of this, let's keep it one page because I want you guys to be able to read it. Yeah, Book of Grudges, 100%. And apparently it wanted to change this guy's name. Sure, why not? The name's not really that important. Oh. Okay. So he was a city guardsman, not a hero, worked the walls. Wasn't a shining knight, he was a shield. People trusted him. He was married to a woman named Elira. They had a son, Petrick, stubborn little shit, like most kids are. Pretty happy for the most part. Now there seems to be attacks on the outskirts of town. Patrols are getting doubled. Darkness came. Cool. Sure. Why not? Couldn't reach home in time. When the fighting broke, surviving creatures withdrew. His wife had fought. His son had tried to hide behind her. Both were dead at the hearth. That doesn't... Oh my, did somebody shave the beard? Never shave the dwarf's beard. Okay, well, here's the thing. This doesn't add enough trauma to the individual. So, okay, let's say he faced him. The wife and child survived the initial attack. Bourne lost and was paraded. And how did they do that back in the day? By crucifixion. Hi, Gift of Gabby. How are you doing? Having a good day, I hope. Oh, good, good. What kind of NPCs are you building, Gabby? And Ahoy, that's no longer Oath of Vengeance, that's Oath of Nuking People. How dare you cut the beard of a dwarf? He'll bring his hammer down. So yeah, okay, we're narrowing all this down, right? And yes, trauma bonding is very important. So cool. He is now, he's still a guard. Still has his wife and child. Still have the people disappearing in the middle of the night. Darkness. Watch patrols are doubled. And I'm skim reading this, of course, because we'd be here all day if I didn't. Eberron NPCs. So you doing the 5.5 or the 5.0? I like Eberron. It gave me my artificers. And I love my artificer. Or artificer. Okay, okay. Honestly, I think that's the superior book in my opinion. 5.5 isn't bad, but I think 5.0 is superior. So, yeah. Hoy, you should pick it back up. Not that I'm telling you what to do, but you should pick it back up. It's a good time. Certainly kills a lot of time, right? So the bells rang after midnight. He tried to break away to reach them. He was singled out, isolated, thrown down in the street before the people he had sworn to protect. Bourne fought like a cornered beast and still lost. But they didn't kill him. So that would very much ruin this character at this point. Although they do have reborns, so that's a fun way to go if your character was killed. They tore his armor from him. The guards were broken. The people were screaming. They tied his hands and feet to a wooden frame in a mock crucifix, and they paraded him around town as a warning, a joke. By dawn, the attackers were gone, so were Elira and Petrick. Bourne was cut down later by survivors who could barely meet his eyes. So this isn't bad. This could give you a reason to go after your wife and son. But I feel like that's more an oath of devotion, in my opinion. You're going after your wife and child. Oh, yeah. Not that I am... Oh, I'm not sponsored by them, but Start Playing is a really good place to go. You got anywhere from free games to extremely expensive games that I would never pay for, but I'm sure they're good. That's very expensive for some of them. So yeah, I would highly recommend looking at it. Plus, I mean, there's Reddit and there's D&D Beyond, and you could definitely find a group. Question is whether or not you can find a good group. But we've all been there. So, in my personal opinion, I don't think there is enough trauma. What do you guys think? More trauma? More trauma. That's right. So let's say that there were vampire spawns in here, because I like vampire spawns. Vampire spawns are part of the horde, because why not? Let's see here. What else? What else? What else? What would make him vengeful? What if while he was being paraded around, he got cut, or they were cut down in front of him? Maybe the kid was going, maybe the child was going up, and you know they saw daddy being paraded around, and they wanted to go help him. Kids are sweet like that. Child runs out. And mom will come up and try to shield the child. Oh, you're right. Not everything has to be extremely traumatic. But I do well with it. I like it. So let's see here. The child runs out to save daddy, and mom tries to shield the child from the horde. And they're cut down in front of him, and he can't do anything. Cool. More trauma. So in my campaign, I do a lot of trauma. I minored in psychology. I use it for evil. So it's, I don't know. That's my thing. If you guys don't do trauma, how do you make your things, your NPCs, your PCs? I don't know if Gabby's still here. I know you're working on NPCs. But what do you do to make them interesting? Obviously, I like to go trauma route, but I also know there's other routes too. I know some of my most memorable NPCs that I've made were supposed to be throwaway NPCs that my party has, or my players have since taken and turned into their favorites. So now I have to do the voices that I never thought I'd have to do more than once. So the horde is Strahd is attacking the city with his minions. So a horde. It is very hard to write up a story that is drawing with a perfect character. I have a hard time writing for people who are happy. Like, why did you come on this adventure? Are you a thrill seeker? Are, like, you grew up in a noble's household, you know, you've got the silver spoon in your mouth, nothing's bad's happened to you. Why are you on this adventure? What drives you to leave this safety? Is it yeah, thrill seekers. Thrill seekers are fun. I just don't tend to write them that way. But you could certainly go that route. You know, the rogue who comes from a noble background, but was always mischievous as a child and snuck out of the castle, say they're royalty, and they snake out of the castle to go out and to hang out with the common folk. Maybe they get kidnapped. Maybe they don't get kidnapped. Maybe they just don't stop walking. And eventually, sneaky Link. Kind of. But with more dialogue. Instead of saying, I hope I did that justice. So yeah, beginning's basically the same, right? Got a family, still a guard. But now we've got the son. He broke through the crowd, too young, too terrified. He saw that his daddy was hurt, and he wanted to help. Is that where gems come from? We could do gems. So yeah, looks like a vampire spawn ended up being the one to cut down his family. He can't do anything because he's tied to this makeshift crucifix. He buried his wife and son, but I think we can. I think we can go deeper. Okay. Character growth. Perfect way to do things. Nothing against that. Um, I know there are some tables where you start off as a commoner. So, like, your farmer, for example. You are a farmer and you play literally level 0, which I've never played, but I've always liked the concept. And yeah, the adventure is more of your backstory. You want to be a knight. That's I talked about it earlier. How some DMs don't really want a huge backstory at the beginning. They want to fill things out as you move forward and grow. And your approach is perfect for DMs like that. Um, because you only need a few sentences at most. He was a farmer. He came from this little village. He wanted to be. He always dreamed of being a knight, and maybe he carries a wooden a wooden sword with him. And then you can proceed to go from level 0 to maybe you become a fighter. Maybe you become a paladin. There's ill riggers now. Um, or maybe on the road as you are doing your farming thing, you see something that just makes you angry and you become a barbarian. It's a good way to go about it. And Gogon, I know we played our play by post together, and my guy had amnesia, but he still had a pretty good backstory to him too, like pretty thorough backstory. Well, Anna, I've always felt that writing trauma is much easier than writing happy, right? Yeah, no. I mean, I think that's a bit subjective. Everybody has a way that they enjoy their characters, right? So, if that is the way that helps you enjoy your character, please, by all means, I encourage you to do that. I would never want you to do something that takes you away from your character. You should always strive to be. Um, you should always strive to ensure that you jive with your characters. I think this is the first time I've had a hard time keeping up with chat. Oh my. So many people. Um, but let's keep digging in. Let's keep digging into this. So, I've watched a lot of True Blood, right? Thanks for the bits, Kyle. One of the things they had was if you got turned by a vampire, you had to listen to your master. And they would oftentimes say, as your maker, kind of thing. You know, I command you. So we want this guy to be forced to stay on this plane of existence. Things could get really dark really fast when you lose your family like that. So let's have the vampire spawn turn him. And he's going to go from a... What just happened? We're going to go from a simple dwarf to a Dampier. I don't know if anybody's used lineages. Love them. I think Grim Hollow also has transformations. I don't know if people want to do that at the very beginning, but it's a fun thing to do. Vampire spawn turns Borin. So after his wife and child are killed, he's given one command as the underling minion. Live. I am not saying your name, Mr. Norm. But good try. I like that. And thank you for joining in and saying hi. Oh, people are silly. I love it. I love that. So yeah, vampire, cool. We're working our way through the story, and you can see how every iteration we're getting a little more fleshed out, a little bit closer to what we want. Oh, very much so. You got to meet my players. They're shisty, always trying to get me. If you guys haven't seen, I do stream on YouTube. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but we stream our campaign on YouTube and Twitch. So if you don't have, and if you don't have 3 to 4 hours to watch it, I get it. That is long. Go ahead. We have shorts too that we post. Super fun, and it's only a few seconds. Yeah, shisty, little shyster. Anna's one of my players as well. She plays Groshka, an orc fighter. She has so many hit points. Fighter character I played once had... Not sure what you're saying there. Falling backstory? He was the 4th child of a noble household, did not want to be part of the succession war, so he took his sword, and is now on adventure to bring his family name glory and honor. Okay, okay. It's straightforward. So in your case, Hoy, I would ask you, okay, give me the names of some people that are important to you. What is, you don't want to be part of this secession. Okay. Where are you heading? What is your goal? Glory and honor is great, but how do you plan to achieve that? Are you going to go take out a bunch of goblins, or maybe you heard bandits are on the road? Because personally, I am big on player agency, so I don't want to add too much to a person's backstory without, consulting the player themselves. So, who are some people that are important to you? You say you're the 4th child. Cool, brother. Is there a 5th, 6th child? Is Is there, what are the names of the older three? What are the name of your parents? Was there any staff member, maybe a maid or a butler that you were friends with, or a childhood friend, that maybe you sparred with? That's fair. Honestly, for one shots, I come up with a voice, but I don't really come up with a reason. Because one shot, hey, I was passing by because this is a one shot, and I'm not throwing that much into it. Yes, I turned Kyle into a werewolf from Grim Hollow. He plays Bramble. He is a druid, which I think is fitting, considering the wild shapes. So now he gets to turn into the big bad wolf. I don't write anything for a one shot. That's the beauty of a one shot. Usually I'm testing mechanics. Maybe a character I want to play and see how things play out. The last one shot I did, I ended up playing a barbarian warlock, 2024 variant. And he did so much damage. And the only reason I took warlock is so I could take the extra feats from the invocations. Get like the tough feat and... Was it the tough feat? I know you could take skilled. Yeah, I mean, different strokes for different folks, right? For my one-shots, usually I'm just trying to figure out mechanics for something I want to play later. Hoy, what was your last campaign? Was it completely homebrew world? Was it a book? Did you happen to play a third-party book? Or a Wizards of the Coast book? Or adventure, I guess? I mean, I'm more familiar with D&D, but if you've played other tabletops, I know there's Warhammer 40,000, and I mean, there's a whole slew of tabletop games, and I've only just recently heard of Cyberpunk has one, and then of course Critical Role just came out with their kind of, I forget what that one's called, but they just came out with that one. But yeah, I mean, just last tabletop, or both. Both is good too. So one thing ChatGPT does not do very well is infer things. So we'll say he became a Dampier, because sometimes you got to spell it out. Daggerheart, that's what it is. Not really my cup of tea, but if you're having fun and you're not hurting nobody, go play it. I almost wanted a fellow player. I'm in a Vecna campaign, and a fellow player is actually, he DMs for Cyberpunk, and I almost pressed the button for it because it seems interesting, but then I really don't want to learn something new. Then I start mixing it up with D&D, and things I cross the wires, never cross the beams. Okay, Star Trek I'm familiar with. Oh, Savage Worlds. Okay. On a bright side, I at least know what those are individually. So that's fun. What character did you play? And Kyle, what are you playing in Daggerheart or Pathfinder? Pathfinder? Gogon, what was the last campaign you played in as a player? In fact, if you want to throw that down in chat, anyone who wants to or don't want to, whatever, go ahead and throw it in chat. And also, if you have any questions about, building a backstory, I know I can't cover all of them, but if you have a question, please, by all means, or be a lurker. I like lurkers too. If I'm just background noise for you, awesome. I'm happy with that. An orc named Gelgo. Okay, so kind of a warrior class. Guardian class is kind of like fighters, warrior type. Only reason I don't do Pathfinders, that's a lot of math. A lot of customization, but it's so much math. And if you're watching and you like what you hear, go ahead, subscribe or follow or whatever you're on at the moment. I don't know what the 3-action economy is. Was it like a cloak of displacement? Oh, gotcha. Wow. Okay. That's a lot going on with that cloak. A trauma veteran. Yeah, Ferengi, I can understand. With one exception. Quark was awesome. And also, not every question has to be about backstories. If you have something you want to talk about, if you're a DM and you want to say, or you have 2 cents to throw in, or you got a question, feel free to throw that in. If you're a player, I always tell people I'm a player first and a DM second. That's how I build my worlds, is from a player's point of view. So it can literally be about anything as long as it's D&D related. So are you still in the, what is it, the Alpha Quadrant, Hoy? Or are you out there with Janeway in the Delta Quadrant? My nerddom knows no bounds. What'd you have, Bergdos? If you're about to ask me if I'm single, the answer is, in fact, yes. But I'm going to need a persuasion check from you. Because why not? I want to see the roll, too. Are y'all sending it to me on Discord? I'm okay with this. I don't, Berg, I don't want to ask you about that. We already played some golf games about that. Oh, so is this one of those things, Kyle, where the actions become greater than the sum of their parts kind of thing? Insight check. Insight check, Berg. Okay, that's cool. Like I said, I don't really know much about Pathfinder. So what do you guys think? You think so now we have a paladin who's gone from a mountain dwarf to I guess he's a mountain dwarf Dampier because you can't be a vampire of nothing. Oath of Vengeance Pally. He's a guard. Was a guard. He took on Strahd's horde and Silvery Barbsburg. I'll hex you too. Charisma. That's what I'm having you roll at disadvantage. Hex. Deal with it. Ah, good. Kyle has my back. But yeah, so he got paraded around, or he failed. He got paraded around. His boy tried to save him, not knowing what he was getting into. His wife tried to shield the kid. They both bit it, and now and then he was turned by a vampire spawn into a Dampier and told to live by his maker, as it were. +9, huh? +9. So you have a +5 in your charisma and a +4 from your proficiency bonus? Seems suspicious. Also, that's fine, Gogon. I already cast Silvery Barbs, because fuck you, that's why. That's because I'm not in the same state I was last night. We're just pulling out legendary actions. I'm gonna blame Bergdos for his character sheet. Because it's more fun that way. Why take responsibility myself? I mean, in my defense, I definitely didn't look at his sheet. I trust him. He's got a trustworthy Twitch name. The other thing that I think I would do for this guy is, so he takes up an Oath of Vengeance against Strahd and his minions. And since he is now a Dampier, let's go ahead and let's set this. He's now 150 years old, because why not? There's nothing worse than a young vampire. If you're under a century old as a vampire, like, get out of here. A Warforged werewolf. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I ever thought about that, but a Warforged werewolf. I I do have a creature on D&D Beyond called a Cogwork werewolf. Super fun creatures. But what if he, instead of like, the normal changes that you would get, like, sprouting fur and all this stuff under a full moon, what if it's more like Transformer style? Like when he hits the full moon, some sensors go off, beep, 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 and then like, his head flips and it's actually a wolf head now, and then, you know, his, the fingertips lift up and it's actually claws now. I think that would be super fun. Poppy? Poppy knows the perfect person for an inn. I think it's Irina. You just ask her. I'm sure she knows a guy who could turn you into a vampire. I mean, I think, Hoy, I think mechanically they would be, beasts, but flavor wise, I mean, that's basically Beast Wars from Transformers back in the day, which I'm down for. I would love that flavor. So flavor wise, we'll say animal constructs, and mechanically, you're still beasts. But yeah, Anna, just have Poppy become Irina's best friend. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to do favors for her. Who knows? You two could braid each other's hair. It'd be great. And if you don't have hair, maybe she could draw hair on your head. Not a big fan of Irina. Grimlock Transformer. Where are you from, Hoy? Because I actually say ahoy to people all the time. So, but where I grew up, a lot of German immigrants. So, we picked up some of the language. Okay. Whereabouts? Well, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me whereabouts. I'll catch myself on that one. But Germany, that's cool. All right, well, I guess you would like it there. You're living there, right? Uh, German born? Or are you like in the military or something? I should say American military. Because I know we got bases over there. Okay. Very cool. I did. I went over there for a little bit of time. Love the food. Love the food. Uh, that really sticks out to me. I have a culinary degree, so as well, and I'm a big foodie. So every type of Wurst out there is delicious. Um, and then of course there's doner kebabs, which I know is not a particularly German thing, but damn, that was good. Yeah, I did a lot of food stuff. Let's see here. What was it? The little crusty rolls, the crusty bread. I would I would eat that every single day. The uses are infinite. But guys, I think that I am going to go ahead and call it here. It was nice chatting with y'all. Another couple of weeks, I should do another DM desk. Hoy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And a lot of your, instead of chemicals, you guys use real stuff. So it's real sugar and it's real, you know. But yeah, let's see here. Let's go ahead and set myself up. So I don't need you guys seeing I mean, you wouldn't see anything. But hopefully I helped you guys out with backstories and whatnot. If you have any other questions, I mean, I have a communities tab on my YouTube. Feel free to throw in anything in there. Throw in something in a chat. I am pretty good at responding to comments. So, yeah. All right. That's the StepDaddy's DM desk. Appreciate you for being here. Follow me if you want more, and I'll see you on the next one. Have an excellent